People are usually stunned when they find out my real age. I'm 91 years old, yet I still drive my own car, do my grocery shopping, and my memory is as sharp as ever. What surprises people the most is this: for more than 3 decades, I haven't been sick once, no colds, no fevers, not even a sniffle. And here's the twist: I've never been rich. I never had fancy health insurance, and I wasn't born into a long-lived family. My parents passed away young, and my siblings take handfuls of pills every single day. But me, I'm still here, strong and steady. Some call it luck, but I know better. It's a choice. A lot of people believe health is just a genetic lottery. You either win or you spend your later years buried in doctor's visits, medical tests, and pill boxes. But I figured out something early on: your body reflects how you treat it every single day. Living well has nothing to do with miracle cures on the internet, extreme diets, or the latest superfood. It's about tuning into your body, respecting its rhythm, giving it the basics consistently, and above all, never stopping your purpose in life. Over the years, I've seen so many strong, vibrant people slowly fade away, and nearly always for the same reason: bad habits piling up quietly. They start sleeping poorly, avoiding social contact, stop moving, eat whatever's easiest, ignore the warning signs. And then time begins to chip away, memory by memory, step by step. I watched that happen, and I decided I would be different. I've never been extreme. I'm not a gym fanatic. I don't follow rigid diets. I enjoy life's little pleasures: a hot coffee with fresh bread, a long evening, chat with friends, a piece of candy now and then. But there are 5 habits I never gave up. Those simple habits, small but steady, changed everything. I treated them as a lifelong pact with myself, a promise not to surrender my health without a fight. And today, that's exactly what I want to share with you: the 5 habits that keep me sharp, active, and full of life at 91. Believe me, it doesn't matter if you're 40, 60, or 80, these habits can transform your life too. Do you know what's truly amazing? None of these habits cost a dime. You don't need to be young, wealthy, or have a perfect daily routine. And the most powerful one, the 5th habit, came from the most unexpected place. It's an ancient teaching I learned from Buddhist monks, a lesson so simple, yet so profound, that it became the foundation of my mental strength, emotional balance, and even my physical health. And believe me, once you understand this, it can completely transform the way you live each day. If you care about your health, hit that like button, because this video might just be the turning point for you, just as these habits were for me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep receiving honest, real content that shows what truly works. I also want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to staying healthy as you age? Maybe I can share a word of advice, a small tip, or simply be living proof that yes, it's absolutely possible to reach 91 with energy, clarity, and the will to keep living fully. Now let me share with you the first habit I adopted, the one that changed my health in a way nobody could have imagined. Every morning right after I wake up, the very first thing I do is expose myself to natural morning light. And no, it's not about tanning or chasing a look. It's a ritual, a connection with the day, a simple but powerful way of telling my body, you're awake. It's time to live. Before even thinking about coffee, I open the door, step outside where the sunlight falls, take a deep breath, and let the light touch my face, my eyes, my skin. Just 10 minutes, but it makes a world of difference. What many people don't realize is that natural morning light works like a reset button for the entire body. It regulates our inner clock, the circadian rhythm, which controls almost everything: sleep, appetite, energy levels, mood, focus, even immunity. And every single day, I can clearly feel the difference it makes. When I stick to this ritual, my body runs smoothly the whole day. But when I skip it, my mind feels heavy, sluggish, less sharp. The difference is crystal clear. The very first time I noticed this effect actually happened by accident. I was traveling, staying in a bright open place where sunlight poured through the windows. I woke up with the sun on my face, went for a walk before breakfast, and that day felt so light, so productive, so alive. I thought to myself, there's something here. When I returned home, I began repeating it intentionally. The more I practiced, the more my body responded. My mood evened out. I started sleeping better. My appetite naturally balanced, and best of all, I felt more present, more focused, more eager to embrace the day. Now, science has proven what I used to feel instinctively. Morning sunlight lowers cortisol throughout the day, increases serotonin, the hormone of well-being, and prepares the body to produce melatonin at night. In other words, your night's rest actually begins with the morning light. How you start sets the tone for how you end. Yet so many people overlook this. They stay shut in dark rooms staring at the harsh blue glow of their phones and then wonder why their days drag on and their nights are restless. The most beautiful part of this habit, it costs nothing. It doesn't demand any physical effort. All it takes is the willingness to open the window, step outside, look at the sky and breathe. Even on cloudy days, even in the cold of winter, even when sunlight seems faint, the natural light is still there. You just have to let it reach you. I've done this wrapped in a heavy coat with wind on my face and a warm cup of tea in my hand. The setting doesn't matter. What matters is the message you send to your body. The day has begun. It's time to function at full strength. People sometimes ask me, does this replace exercise? Does it solve sleep issues? Does it cure sadness? My answer is always the same. It replaces nothing, but it improves everything. This habit is the anchor, the starting point. When you begin your day by telling your body, we're in this together, everything else becomes easier. It's like your body thanks you. It gets organized, balanced, and ready to give you its very best. And at 91, that is truly priceless. So if you wake up every morning already dragging yourself, scrolling on your phone, grumpy at the world, try this. Before anything else, step into the light, even if it's just your balcony, your backyard, or the hallway of your building. Just you, the morning, and your breath. The world might be in chaos, but that short moment belongs only to you. And believe me, your body will remember that gesture by the end of the day. The second habit I adopted and never abandoned was starting my mornings with a cup of tea. Simple as that. A warm cup of tea slowly sipped in silence before anything else. Before coffee, before the news, even before talking to anyone. That became my real awakening. But it's not just about the liquid or the temperature, it's about what it represents. A signal to my body that the day has begun, and it can begin gently. For years, I used to wake up and go straight for strong, black coffee, bitter, urgent, almost like my body only functioned when I forced it into action. But as the years went by, I realized it made me anxious, jittery, and even upset my stomach. That's when I met a monk during a lecture. He spoke about the ritual of tea. He said drinking tea early in the morning warms the body from within, prepares the organs, activates digestion, and sends a message to the mind. Today isn't just another day, it's another chance to live well. From that day on, I began making tea every morning. I've tried many kinds. My favorite now is ginger with mint and a splash of lemon. Sometimes I add turmeric, other times chamomile with clove. But honestly, the recipe doesn't matter. What matters is the act, the ritual, the calm. I sit down, cradle the cup in both hands, breathe in the steam, close my eyes for a few seconds, and only then take the first sip. It may sound small, but that moment completely shifts my inner state. And yes, there's science to back it up. Tea gently warms the digestive system, improves circulation, helps the liver flush out toxins that built up overnight, rehydrates the body after hours without water, and delivers powerful antioxidants, especially when you choose natural herbs. I began to notice the results almost immediately. My digestion started working like clockwork. My morning energy improved. That heavy feeling I used to carry right after waking up simply disappeared. But more than that, tea became an emotional anchor, a quiet moment to reconnect with myself. While the world rushes into chaos, I begin my day in silence, in presence. And let me tell you, for anyone who wants to age well, that is pure gold. Because the way you start your morning shapes everything that follows. If you begin in peace with a body that's awake and a mind that's aligned, everything flows better. That's why today I never skip it. Even when I'm traveling, hosting guests, or in a hurry, my tea always comes first. Not because I'm being picky, but because my body deserves that respect. At 91 standing strong, I know it carried me here, and it has earned that daily gesture. And if you've never tried it, I invite you to give it a week. Wake up, boil some water, choose a natural herb, and claim that moment as yours. It doesn't have to be perfect, just intentional. Because in the end, true health isn't built from dramatic decisions. It's built from these small daily rituals that nourish the body, balance the mind, and give meaning to our days. Tea may be simple, but the transformation it can bring is immense. The third habit I take seriously every single day is exercising my brain as if it were a muscle because it is. And if you don't use it, it weakens. That may sound like an exaggeration, but it's the truth. What I see most often are people who lose their independence, not because their bodies gave up, but because their minds slowly shut down. It begins with small things, forgetting details, struggling to stay organized, mixing up dates and names, and before they even realize it, they can no longer make simple decisions without someone else's help. And you know what frightens me the most? In so many cases, this decline could have been prevented. The good news is it's never too late. In fact, the simple act of you being here right now, listening carefully to me, is already a way of training your mind. It might seem small, but it's actually huge because at this very moment, you're absorbing new content, connecting ideas, reflecting. And all of that stimulates areas of the brain that strengthen memory, focus, and even your mood. This right here is exercise. Just by being present, listening, and learning, you're already strengthening yourself from within. I've always believed that the brain needs challenges. And it's not just about crossword puzzles or board games. It's about stepping out of your mental routine. It's trying a new recipe. It's diving into a subject you've never cared about before. It's solving a problem without asking for help. All of that demands effort from the mind, and the brain loves it. When you challenge it, it responds. It reorganizes. It builds new pathways. And for anyone who wants to grow old with clarity and independence, this is essential. At 70, I started to notice my memory wasn't as sharp as before. It was a shock. Some words slipped away. Dates got jumbled. That's when it hit me. If I didn't take care of my mind, I'd soon start depending on others. And I didn't want that life. So I began investing more energy into my brain. I read, I wrote, I gave myself small daily challenges. And the more I practiced, the clearer my thoughts became. It was like wiping the dust off old furniture. Suddenly, everything inside began to shine again. These days, it's second nature. I keep it varied. One day, I read another, I write another, I dive deep into old memories. I enjoy organizing my ideas, recalling stories, even making lists entirely in my head without writing them down. It keeps me sharp, alert, alive inside. And the best part? It gives me the confidence to keep making my own decisions, even with over 90 years on my shoulders. The brain has something the body doesn't. It can keep growing even in old age. But it needs nourishment. And not just food, but stimulation. Without challenge, it slows down, and that's what I refuse to let happen. I don't just want to live long, I want to live lucid. I want to look into my grandchildren's eyes and remember everything, every detail. That takes effort, yes, but it's worth every second. So if you've noticed your mind slowing down, start small. Read just one paragraph a day. Learn a new word. Do a bit of math without a calculator. These little actions are like lifting weights for your brain. They may seem tiny, but together they keep your mind strong. At first it feels hard, but with time you'll feel your body responding, and that changes everything. The fourth habit that completely transformed the way I age is movement. Moving every single day might sound obvious, but trust me, it isn't. As we grow older, we constantly hear things like, be careful, don't push yourself. It's better to stay still. Resting is safer. And little by little, we start to accept the idea that an aging body isn't meant to move. That if something hurts, it's a sign to stop. Or if you feel tired, it must just be because you're old. But that mindset is poison for both body and soul. I fell into that trap myself for a while. I thought I was preserving my body by slowing down. The result, I grew stiffer, slower. Pain crept into my back, my hips, my shoulders. I felt older than I actually was. And worst of all, I started feeling discouraged. One day I heard about a senior Pilates class near my house. I went there just to watch. But I walked out, signed up, and I never looked back. That was a turning point. I realized my body still had so much to give. It just needed stimulation. Of course, it was tough in the beginning. Tight muscles, stiff joints, shaky balance. But I stayed consistent. And with time, my body opened up again. Movement returned. And with it came the joy of living. I even added a few gentle yoga poses, nothing extreme, all adapted to my age. Yet the results were incredible. My breathing improved, I slept better, my mood lifted. And then something unexpected happened. Friendship. In those classes, I met people my age, each with their own story, each facing similar challenges. We laughed together, learned together, encouraged each other. That sense of belonging filled a gap I didn't even realize was there. Because yes, the body needs to move, but the heart needs to connect too. Exercise gave me both physical strength and human connection. Now I make sure to move every single day. Sometimes it's a light walk. Other times it's stretching in the living room or a short yoga session on TV. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is this: I refuse to let my body sit idle. Because when you stop moving, your body begins to fade. But the moment you activate it even just a little, it responds. It wakes up, it regenerates. And more than that, movement is a declaration: I'm still here, I'm still part of life. I still deserve to feel strong. And that truth applies at any age. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, or 90, it's never too late to reclaim the movement that gives your days meaning. Living without pain, with independence and flexibility isn't a luxury, it's a right. And it's within reach for anyone willing to start again. So if you've been thinking your time for exercise is past, think again. The body doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks for presence. Start small: a short walk, a light stretch, a little dance in your living room. And if you can join a group, because the body grows stronger through movement, but the spirit is renewed through community. The fifth habit I added to my daily routine, without exaggeration, the most transformative of all, came from an unexpected source. An ancient ritual practiced by Buddhist monks, now rediscovered and even studied by modern scientists. They call it the brainwave ritual of abundance. I know it sounds like something out of a movie at first, but when I began practicing it, I finally understood why it had survived for centuries and why only now it's starting to receive the recognition it deserves. The impact wasn't just mental. It touched every part of my life: my health, my energy, even my decisions, and surprisingly, my finances. I stumbled upon this ritual while reading about longevity and neuroscience. That's when I found a study showing how certain brainwave frequencies activated early in the morning can reorganize the mind, reduce stress, balance emotions, and believe it or not, open the way to greater focus, clarity, and even prosperity. It turned out to be something monks had been practicing for generations: a simple combination of sound, breath, and intention, all in just a few minutes first thing in the morning. I tried it out of curiosity, and I've never stopped since. The practice is simple. Every morning before distractions creep in, I put on my headphones and listen to a specific frequency that activates the brain's theta state. While I listen, I sit quietly and focus on three things: what I want to feel today, what I want to attract, and what I need to release. It sounds simple because it is, but the effects are profound. Within days, my anxiety melted away. Within weeks, I began making sharper decisions. And within a few months, my financial life, which had been steady, turned abundant. The most astonishing part: I didn't change anything externally. I didn't work more hours. I didn't win the lottery. Yet opportunities began to appear. Old clients reconnected. Ideas flowed. Even my investments started performing better. Now I know some people will say this all sounds mystical. But the research is there: Columbia, Harvard, respected scientific journals, all confirming that when the brain is activated at the right frequency, it literally changes how we perceive and interact with the world. And I experienced that transformation firsthand. My health improved as well. My blood pressure stabilized. My sleep became deeper. My emotions leveled out. It felt as though this ritual placed my mind in a state of readiness and peace at the same time. And when I later read that monks in deep meditation enter this exact same mental state, I finally understood the power I was tapping into. This isn't just about relaxation. It's about alignment, bringing the body and mind in harmony with something greater. Today, if I had to choose between my morning coffee or this ritual, I would choose the ritual every time. Just 7 minutes that prepare my brain for whatever comes my way. It has become a sacred moment in my day. And the most beautiful part: anyone can do it. No money required, no prior experience, no belief system, just pure intention. And the only thing it really takes is the willingness to try, because this one habit has the power to completely shift the direction of your life, just like it did for me. If I'm standing here at 91 years old with clarity, peace, independence, and even abundance, I can assure you this ritual played a crucial role. It didn't just change my thoughts, it changed my reality. So if you feel ready for a deep transformation, this ritual is the best place to start. Oh, and if you're curious about the brainwave practice I've been talking about, the one that reshaped my mental health, my energy, And yes, even my finances. I'll leave a link in the comments. Just click it if you want to learn how it works and maybe begin practicing it yourself. It costs nothing to learn, and it could change everything within you. If there's one truth I've discovered after all these years, it's this: real health doesn't come from urgency, guilt, or pressure. Real health comes from consistency and respecting your own rhythm. I know when people hear me talk about these 5 habits, many immediately think, oh, but I could never do all that. And that's okay. The goal here isn't to become a monk, an athlete, or a guru. It's just to plant a seed one habit at a time. Because nobody changes their entire life overnight, but everyone can start something. The truth is, the most important step is simply to begin, and it doesn't matter where. Maybe with morning tea, maybe with a short walk, maybe with 3 quiet minutes before bed. What matters is creating a moment that belongs to you, a ritual that tells your body and your mind, I'm here. I want to take care of you. And once that becomes a habit, it changes everything, because your body feels it, understands it, and responds. And you know what happens when you try to change everything all at once? You overwhelm yourself. Your body and mind resist you, get frustrated, and you walk away thinking you failed. But when you start small, step by step, you win. And those wins repeated daily become a lifetime. That's why I always say, start small, but start strong. It's better to do one thing well every single day than to try doing everything at once and quit by the first week. True health is built like a house, brick by brick. In my case, I didn't start out doing yoga, drinking tea, meditating, and walking in silence all at once. No. First, I changed the way I woke up. Then I adjusted my diet. Later, I discovered Pilates. Years after that came the brainwave ritual, and slowly everything began to fit together. One habit led to the next, like a chain of good things linking one after another, deep and steady. And you'll notice when one habit sticks, it naturally makes room for the next. Sleep better and you wake up with more energy. With more energy, you eat better. Eat better and you think more clearly. Think more clearly and you make better choices. It's not magic, it's a cycle. And that cycle begins with a single choice. The simplest, most accessible one. Another important thing, don't compare yourself to anyone. Every body has its own story. Every mind has its own timing. What matters is that you look at your life today and ask yourself, what's one thing I can improve even just a little? That's it. Your health will thank you. Your mind will respond. And little by little, life will return to balance with more ease, more joy, and much deeper meaning. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by everything I've shared, take a breath. Pick one thing, just one, and start with that. Consistency will take care of the rest. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize your life has changed. Not because you did everything all at once, but because you started. And that, my friend, is more than half the journey. If you've made it this far with me, first, congratulations. That already shows you care. It shows you want to live longer and better, and that you understand aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can be a season of strength, wisdom, and clarity. I'm not here as a doctor or a guru. I'm here as someone who has lived what I speak. Someone who has felt in his body, in his mind, and in his heart the difference small habits can make. Everything I've shared in this video comes from experience. Not from books, not from theory, but from decades of practice. Years of testing, adjusting, and refusing to give up. And today at 91, I can say with conviction, it was worth it. I'm still clear-minded, still independent, still healthy, and most importantly, still full of life. And if that's possible for me, it's possible for you too. No matter your age, what matters is how willing you are to start taking care of yourself today. So if this video resonated with you, if even one thing here made sense, leave a like. That way this message can reach more people who might need to hear it right now. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. No magic formulas, just truths that work. And tell me in the comments, which of these habits will you add to your routine first? Or maybe which one is already a part of your life? I'd love to know. See you next time.